Increased fire danger, how long Santa Ana winds will stick around. One California woman is making moves in the skateboarding world. And get this, she's 64 years old. What she says allows her to stay competitive in the sport. Hello, everyone. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. We'll have more on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, West Hollywood is hosting the Halloween Carnival for the first time since the start of the pandemic. The Carnival takes place from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Organizers canceled the celebration the last 3 years. At first, due to COVID, then a monkeypox outbreak caused concern. Planning was an issue too, but it's back this year, and it's expected to bring thousands to Santa Monica Boulevard. The event is free with DJ sets and food trucks. Negotiations continued over the weekend between SAG-AFTRA and the studios. While there is a sense of optimism, there's still no deal yet. A source close to the negotiations tells NBC4 both sides are making progress, but they still need to work through a lot. Comcast, the corporation that owns our parent company, NBC Universal, is represented by the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Some employees of the NBC News Group are represented by SAG-AFTRA. Ski and snowboard season is almost here. Snowmaking tests are going on right now at Mountain High in preparation for the upcoming winter season. Snowmakers are working around the clock to get the slopes ready. The resort in Wrightwood plans to open mid-November. Mountain High is traditionally the first resort to open in SoCal for the season. The big weather story right now is the return of the Santa Ana winds and high fire danger. Meteorologist Belen De Leon is here with your first alert forecast.
Santa Ana winds have made a comeback and they're increasing fire danger, so that's something that we're going to be monitoring in your forecast at least through the middle of the week. The other thing, very cold temperatures expected for our friends over in the high desert. Each morning we're waking up to freeze warnings and frost advisories. Now the temperatures for the rest of the week, those are going to be above normal, so I'll show you that trend in just a second. First of all, red flag warnings in effect for LA, Ventura County, all the way through Monday evening, but those winds will remain active through Tuesday, and because of that, the temperatures are expected to be warmer for this time of year. Look at the trend in West Covina. We go from 82 on Monday to temperatures in the mid to upper 80s lasting all the way into the weekend. So even though we're in fall, we're saying goodbye to October, hello to November, temperatures are still pretty warm for this time of year. Stay cool and hydrate.
Authorities say the initial autopsy results of Friends star Matthew Perry are inconclusive. The medical examiner is now waiting on a toxicology report before determining an official cause of death. Perry died Saturday in an apparent drowning at his home in Pacific Palisades. His 10 seasons on Friends made him a household name, and his character, Chandler Bing, resonated with people years after the sitcom ended. 2 young children are dead and 2 are injured in Lancaster. Their father has been detained as a person of interest. LA County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home late Saturday night. This is on East Avenue J2. Deputies found the 4 children in one bedroom with what's described as severe cuts. They're all under the age of 10.
This is traumatizing for everybody that's involved. The deputies are responded, all the parties involved, the investigators, everyone.
The 2 injured children were hospitalized. They're expected to survive. Now to the Israel-Hamas war. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel started its second stage of war against Hamas. Ground troops entered Gaza, intensifying its attack. The Israeli military says it's struck more than 600 terror targets over the past few days. Israel says the operations is payback for the ambush that killed 1,400 Israelis and the kidnapping of more than 200 hostages.
Making sure that Hamas can never again threaten Israel in the way it threatened Israel before is their core strategic objective in this conflict. But in terms of what the specific milestones are, that is something that ultimately is up to Israel.
Israel says this operation could take years, or it could end now if Hamas drops its weapons and releases the hostages. There's no sign of that happening. The death toll is growing. More than 9,400 people have been killed on both sides. A deadly police shooting of a 20-year-old woman in Anaheim, all caught on camera. We've actually paused the video, but a warning that some viewers may find it disturbing. The shooting happened around 9 Sunday morning on South Anaheim Boulevard, and officers say they were called to the scene for a woman armed with a rifle. They say the shooting happened after they confronted the woman, identified as Abigail Lopez. She died at the hospital. Officers say they recovered a pellet gun that looked like an assault weapon. The Orange County DA's office is investigating the shooting. A big sea of purple took over LA Live this weekend for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. NBC4 and Telemundo 52 were proud partners of Saturday's walk. They had a great turnout. The funds raised with help of research and programs for those impacted by the disease.
But the truth is, I think that thank you to Lisa Fox for encouraging me to be part of this organization when my mom first died.
And that was our very own Lynette Romero. She was recognized for her work and efforts to raise awareness for Alzheimer's. All right, starting this week, part of a 16-mile stretch of the 405 freeway will be closed to test new toll lanes. The express lanes are part of a widening project that expands the 5-lane highway to 7 lanes. So starting Wednesday, November 1st, those express lanes will be closed as crews test the tolls, including a new carpool lane that will now require 3 people in a vehicle rather than 2. The lanes are set to open December 1st, and drivers will have the whole month of November to set up their accounts. The cost of using the express lanes range from just $2 to more than $9 per trip. No cars were allowed on the 110 freeway for several hours Sunday morning, and thousands of pedestrians and cyclists got to enjoy it. NBC4's Bailey Miller has more on Arroyo Fest.
Where you usually see cars zipping by on the 110 on the Arroyo Seco Parkway, thousands of runners, walkers, and cyclists took over the lanes. The 7-mile stretch from LA to Pasadena closed down to cars for the 626 Golden Streets Arroyo Fest.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime for our generation.
And it was really fun. It really felt like I was actually riding on the road.
This is one of the first freeway in LA, so it's very special to be able to ride on the freeway.
The 110 freeway, also known as the Pasadena Freeway, and originally coined the Arroyo Seco Parkway, was the first freeway in the western United States, opening its lanes in 1940. And those out here getting to enjoy it are taking in the LA history.
It's the first freeway. Originally it was, I think, 45 miles per hour maximum. Every freeway entrance and exit has a stop sign. There's a reason for that.
Really, really cool. The oldest freeway in Los Angeles, you know.
Today was just very different. You just see the whole community come around. Everyone just cycle with their family.
All ages and walks of life from all over Los Angeles traveling to be here. The hope for the rare occurrence is allowing people to explore their neighborhoods and see the city in a whole new way. In Los Angeles, Bailey Miller, NBC4 News.
Great turnout there. Over the weekend, the legendary LA skate park, the Barracks, along with the Poseidon Foundation, hosted a skateboarding contest, and they offered the largest prize money ever to adaptive skaters, which speaks to the momentum of the sport. So competitors from 16 countries rode the rails and ramps. Adaptive skaters are athletes with disabilities who skate seated in wheelchairs, braces, or with crutches. Tia Pearl took the top prize for Ladies Adaptive Skate. She told us skateboarding was the love of her life. In 2012, she became disabled and stopped riding. It took 7 years for her to make her way back to the board.
I landed a trick, a pop shove it the first day, and I was like, I'm back, baby. This is it. Like, adaptive skating's for me, and I'm gonna go lead the way and show these women like what they can do too.
So inspirational. Organizers say the event is a celebration of progression and inclusion, and it's a time for these athletes to shine.
To allow their voices to be heard, for people to see how talented they are, and also for people to understand, like, you truly can do anything in life if you put your mind to it and just understand to never give up and persevere.
The Barracks is a private skate park, but was open to the public over the weekend so people could watch the world-class competition. Very, very inspirational. That's amazing. Well, one of the greatest point guards of all time is now a billionaire. That's right, Magic Johnson is now the 4th current or former athlete with the status. Forbes estimates the LA Dodgers co-owner has an estimated $1.2 billion, and much of that comes from his minority ownership in 4 professional sports teams, an Iowa-based life insurance company, and his time in the NBA. I know who to call if I need a loan. Well, a new documentary takes us back more than 40 years for a glimpse into the making of the Thriller album. The documentary is called Thriller 40, giving us a look at Michael Jackson's vision from the iconic work of art.
There are 2 things in the music business: before Thriller and after Thriller.
Thriller set the standard of what it was to be a megastar.
It's a great album. I remember when I was a kid, this video, it terrified me so much. Well, Thriller came out in 1982, but it's still the best-selling album in history. The documentary is set to premiere on December 2nd on Showtime and streaming on Paramount+. A Santa Cruz woman will be representing the U.S. at the World Skate Games in Rome next year. Even more impressive, she qualified at the ripe age of 64. Wow, look at her go. Judy Oyama will be competing in the slalom, and she's been skating more than 50 years. And as you can see here, like, she's showing no signs of stopping. Look at her go. In fact, she's ranked 2nd in the world in women's slalom.
For some reason, when I'm on a skateboard, I'm not afraid. Knock on wood or knock on something, because I still have a low fear factor.
In addition to training on her skateboard, she does CrossFit 5 days a week. And when she isn't weaving in and out of the cones in just seconds, Judy is encouraging other young girls to try the sport and compete. Wow, hope I can move like that at that age. So inspirational. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.